In the gilded cage of his vast fortune, Alexander Sterling was a prisoner of his own making, his heart encased in ice. Then, a chance encounter on a desolate, freezing night with Mia, an 8-year-old girl radiating an almost defiant resilience, shattered his carefully constructed solitude. The quest to find her missing mother would unearth a 20-year-old secret, forcing Alex to confront the devastating legacy of choices that nearly cost him his soul. This is the story of how a lost child guided a cold-hearted millionaire, not just to his forgotten past, but to the profound, unexpected discovery of true wealth, love, family, and the difficult, transformative path to redemption. Our story begins on a night as cold and unforgiving as Sterling's own heart, before a flicker of warmth dared to change everything. The Italian marble of Sterling Manor, cool and indifferent beneath Alexander Sterling's bespoke John Lobb shoes, echoed with a hollowness that mirrored the man himself. At 44, he was a titan of the city's notoriously cutthroat property development scene, a name synonymous with audacious deals and an almost chilling pragmatism. His empire was vast, his intellect a finely honed weapon, but the sprawling, museum-like emptiness of his 12-bedroom mansion, perched high above the glittering metropolis, was a stark daily testament to a profound internal poverty. "Cancel my table at the Children's Hospital Gala," Alex barked into his secure line, his voice clipped, devoid of any discernible warmth. He stood, a formidable silhouette against the floor-to-ceiling windows, a vast panorama of the cityscape unfurling before him like a conquered yet ultimately unsatisfying territory. "Inform the committee I'll be doubling my usual anonymous donation. Wire it. No press, no fanfare. Understood?" His long-suffering executive assistant, David Henderson, a young man whose prematurely graying hair was a direct result of anticipating Alex's abrupt edicts, managed to faint, "Yes, Mr. Sterling, perfectly." Alex terminated the call without a perfunctory goodbye, the expensive, minimalist smartphone disappearing into the pocket of his impeccably tailored Savile Row suit. His reflection, sharp and severe, stared back from the darkened window pane. Silver distinguished his temples, lending him an air of gravitas rather than age. His jawline was unforgiving, his mouth set in a firm, unyielding line. And his eyes, a startling, penetrating ice blue, had long ago forgotten the gentle curve of a genuine smile. Max, his loyal, aging golden retriever, padded silently across the Aubusson carpet to his side, nudging a cool, wet nose into his master's unyielding hand. Max was the only living creature Alex permitted such unsolicited proximity, the sole, often unwitting recipient of any unguarded, fleeting affection. The dog's warm, solid, uncomplaining presence was the single consistent touch of companionship in a life otherwise meticulously defined by high-stakes transactions, strategic alliances, and a self-imposed, formidable solitude. "Just you and me again tonight, old boy," Alex murmured, the harsh, resonant edges of his voice softening by an almost imperceptible fraction, a nuance reserved exclusively for his canine confidant. He reached down, his long fingers briefly scratching behind Mac's velvety ears, a rare, almost furtive caress that no human associate had witnessed in over a decade. The mansion, all 15,000 square feet of prime, aggressively acquired real estate, unfurled around them, a cold monument to ambition achieved, filled with museum-quality art selected by a high-priced consultant, furniture that cost more than most people's annual salaries, and an almost palpable, chilling absence of human warmth. No cherished family photographs adorned the polished wood-paneled walls. No careless, childish laughter had ever dared to disturb its pristine, echoing silence. The head housekeeper, Mrs. Davies, a woman of quiet efficiency and even quieter judgment, maintained it with meticulous, impersonal care, but nothing about the vast, opulent space suggested it was truly lived in. It was rather inhabited. In the cavernous, state-of-the-art kitchen, a gleaming expanse of stainless steel and dark granite, Mrs. Davies was methodically wiping down the already spotless countertops, her movements economical and precise as she prepared to depart for the day. "Mr. Sterling," she announced, her voice perfectly modulated, betraying none of the pity she sometimes felt for the solitary, formidable man who employed her. "Your dinner is in the warming drawer, the pan-seared duck breast with cherry reduction. The caterer delivered it an hour ago. Just plate it when you're ready." Alex nodded dismissively, his gaze already drifting towards the muted financial news ticker on a discreetly mounted plasma screen. But then, something small, something out of place, on the gleaming black granite of the central island, snagged his attention. A small, slightly worn, silver-framed photograph Mrs. Davies must have inadvertently left out of her capacious handbag. In it, she was almost unrecognizable. Radiant, her usually reserved face wreathed in an unrestrained smile, surrounded by a boisterous, joyful crowd of children, and even smaller, more exuberantly boisterous grandchildren. Her entire being seemed transformed by a depth of happiness Alex found himself unable to fully comprehend, let alone access. "Is this your family, Mrs. Davies?" The question, uncharacteristically personal, almost gentle, slipped out before he could erect his customary defenses, before the internal sentinel that guarded his vulnerabilities could sound an alarm. Mrs. Davies, startled by his tone as much as the question, turned, a faint flush rising on her usually pale cheeks. Then her professional mask momentarily slipped, revealing the warm, kind-hearted woman beneath. "Oh, yes, Mr. Sterling. Forgive me, I must have dropped it." She picked it up, her fingers lingering on the image. "That was taken at my grandson Leo's 5th birthday party last month. He's the one with the superhero cape, trying to fly off the picnic table. 7 grandchildren now. Can you believe it?" she said, a quiet, unadulterated pride infusing her voice, her eyes momentarily soft with remembered joy. Something flickered in Alex's steely gaze, an emotion so fleeting, so alien to his usual impassivity that Mrs. Davies almost missed it. Longing, perhaps. Or was it a sharper, more acute pang of regret, sudden and unexpected, like a shard of glass embedding itself in his soul? "You should ensure your personal belongings are secured," he said, his tone abruptly reverting to its customary cool remoteness, the brief window into his carefully guarded interior slamming shut. "And double-check the perimeter security system is fully armed when you leave." He turned away, the fleeting connection severed, the moment relegated to the vast archive of unacknowledged human interactions that constituted his life. Later, as an inky, starless November darkness enveloped the city, Alex clipped Mac's well-worn leather leash. Their late-night constitutional through the nearby sprawling expanse of Willow Creek Park was his one, inviolable concession to a routine not dictated by quarterly earnings reports and hostile takeover strategies. The park, usually deserted at this late, unwelcoming hour, offered a blessed anonymity, a stark, welcome contrast to the relentless, often intrusive scrutiny of his very public, yet intensely private life. A biting, insidious wind, carrying the first icy, unwelcome promise of a long, hard winter, cut through the expensive cashmere of his overcoat. But Alex, lost in the labyrinth of his own complex calculations, barely registered the penetrating cold. Yet tonight, as the distant city lights twinkled like a carpet of fallen, indifferent stars, an unfamiliar, unwelcome melancholy, vague and deeply unsettling, washed over him. The image of Mrs. Davies, her kind face illuminated by the unfeigned love of her sprawling, boisterous family, stubbornly, inexplicably, lingered in the usually sterile corridors of his thoughts. What would it be like, he found himself wondering, with a sudden, unwelcome pang of something akin to yearning to have people genuinely waiting for you. To have someone's eyes, anyone's eyes, light up with unadulterated, uncomplicated pleasure when you walked through the door. He shook his head, a gesture of sharp, impatient dismissal, banishing the treacherous thought with practiced, ruthless efficiency. He had chosen this solitary path. He didn't need anyone, or so he had convinced himself. But as Max trotted purposefully ahead, leading Alex deeper into the shadowy embrace of Willow Creek's ancient oaks, fate, it seemed, had other plans. Little did the self-made millionaire know that the barricades around his heart were about to face their most formidable challenge. Deeper they ventured until Max suddenly tensed, ears perked, attention fixed on a dilapidated park bench. A low growl rumbled in his chest. "Max, heel!" Alex commanded. But Max ignored him, trotting purposefully towards the bench. Alex squinted. A small figure was huddled there, using a tattered backpack as a pillow. "Hey!" Alex called out. "This isn't a public shelter." The figure startled upright. In the dim glow of a distant lamp, Alex saw a young girl, no more than 8. Her clothes were worn but clean, her face smudged, her eyes wide with fear and an unnerving composure. "I'm so sorry, sir," she said, her voice small but steady. "I wasn't causing any trouble." Alex, taken aback, found his sternness faltering. "It's nearly midnight. Where are your parents?" "My mom. She'll be back soon." The girl clutched her backpack. "She told me to wait right here." Max, to Alex's astonishment, nudged the girl's hand and licked it, then settled beside her. The girl smiled, a brief, genuine illumination, and scratched Max behind his ears. "He doesn't usually take to strangers," Alex murmured. "Dogs usually like me," she replied. "What's his name?" "Max." Alex found himself walking closer. "How long have you been waiting here?" The girl hesitated. She left 5 days ago, sir. She said she'd be right back." 5 days? The words were a cold knot in Alex's chest. Anger, sharp and unfamiliar, surged through him. "What's your name?" he asked, his voice softer. "Mia Evans." She extended a small, dirt-stained hand with surprising dignity. Alex hesitated, then took it. It was ice cold. "Alexander Sterling." "Are you going to call the police, Mr. Sterling?" Mia asked, wary. Of course he should. Yet Max rested his head on Mia's lap. The dog looked up at Alex, almost accusatory. "When did you last eat, Mia?" "Yesterday morning, sir. I had the last of my granola bars." As the words left her mouth, something inside Alexander Sterling, the ruthless magnate, shifted irrevocably. The walls around his heart developed their first hairline crack. He pulled out his phone. The responsible thing was clear. Yet looking at Mia's resigned expression, he hesitated. "I am calling the police," he finally said, dialing the non-emergency line. "They'll help find your mother." Mia nodded quietly. Officer Miller arrived, kind-eyed and no nonsense. "Evening, Mr. Sterling. What's the trouble?" "I found this child, Mia, alone," Alex explained. "She claims she's been here for 5 days." Officer Miller recognized Mia. "Mia Evans, from the Willow Creek Community Center after-school program?" Mia nodded, surprised. "I volunteer there," Miller explained. "Mia and her mom, Sarah, attend the free meal program. Where's your mom now, honey?" "She went to find work." Mia's voice remained steady, but her hands trembled. Miller sighed. "We need to call Child Protective Services. Unfortunately, at this hour, it means the Emergency Children's Shelter." Alex pictured the sterile, impersonal place. "Is that absolutely necessary?" The words left his mouth before he could stop them. She could stay at my guest house, just until morning." Both Miller and Mia stared, astonished. "That's unusually generous, Mr. Sterling," Miller said carefully. "But there are protocols." "I'm aware," Alex interrupted. "But it's nearly 1 in the morning. You know who I am. Surely one night won't compromise anything." After a lengthy discussion and several calls, Miller reluctantly agreed, promising to follow up with CPS first thing. As they walked to Alex's Bentley, Mia stumbled. Without thought, Alex extended his hand. Mia took it, her small fingers surprisingly strong. He couldn't remember the last time he'd held anyone's hand. An unexpected warmth coursed through him. "Thank you, Mr. Sterling," Mia said quietly. "Max seems happy I'm coming." "It's just for tonight, Mia," Alex clarified, as much to himself as to her. "Until they find your mother." The grandeur of Sterling Manor seemed to diminish Mia further. "Mrs. Davies?" Alex called, then remembered his housekeeper had left. "She's gone home, hasn't she?" Mia asked perceptively. "I can sleep on the couch." "No, that won't be necessary. I have plenty of guest rooms." He led her to the smallest, still larger than most master suites. "Will this be all right?" he asked, suddenly aware of how impersonal it was. Mia nodded. "It's very nice, Mr. Sterling. Thank you." "Alex," he corrected, then wondered why. "You must be hungry." In the kitchen, he stared blankly at his refrigerator. Mrs. Davies had left his gourmet meal, but nothing for a child. He awkwardly reheated some pasta. Mia ate at the massive dining table, looking like a doll. "Thank you, Alex," she said. The silence was oppressive. Alex struggled for conversation. "So, what grade are you in?" "3rd grade, sir." "Alex, when I can go to school. We've moved a bit. I like math best." "Math," Alex echoed. "Practical." Another silence. "Your house is very big," Mia observed. "For just one person. I like my space." "Don't you ever get lonely?" The directness pierced him. "I have Max," he replied defensively. Mia nodded. "Max is nice, but dogs can't really talk back." After dinner, Alex awkwardly showed her the guest bathroom. When Mia emerged, clean but in the same clothes, she unexpectedly hugged him. "Thank you for helping me, Alex." He froze, then stiffly patted her shoulder. "You're welcome, Mia. Get some sleep." Later, in his study, a glass of untouched scotch beside him, he noticed a small notebook that had fallen from Mia's backpack. Inside were childish drawings and stories, and a worn photograph of a woman with Mia's features, her eyes hauntingly familiar. He dismissed the thought, returning the notebook. As he passed Mia's room, he heard muffled crying. He paused, hand raised to knock, then lowered it, paralyzed by his own emotional inadequacy. He slid down against the wall, listening as the little girl cried herself to sleep. For the first time in years, Alex felt an ache that had nothing to do with business. Morning found Alex disheveled in his kitchen. "Mr. Sterling," Mrs. Davies exclaimed, "you're up early." "We have a guest," Alex began, just as Mia appeared, Max at her side. "Good morning," Mia said politely. Mrs. Davies' eyebrows shot up, then her professionalism returned. "Good morning, young lady. Would you like some pancakes?" While Mia ate, Alex called Officer Miller. No trace of Sarah Miller. He then called his office. "Rebecca, clear my schedule. Family emergency." Rebecca's stunned silence spoke volumes. After breakfast, Alex led Mia to his home office. "I'm going to help find your mother. Tell me more about her." Mia's face clouded. "Mom works lots of places, cleaning, restaurants. We moved a lot. Our last apartment had black mold." Alex felt a twinge. He knew how the housing market squeezed people like Sarah. "Any relatives?" Mia shook her head. "Just us. Mom says we're all we need." By mid-morning, Alex called Evelyn Hayes, a private investigator. "A missing person, Alex?" "New for you," Evelyn remarked. "Just find her, Evelyn." "Please." Evelyn arrived, sharp-eyed and no nonsense. Alex showed her the photo from Mia's notebook. "Sarah Miller, late 30s?" Alex confirmed. Evelyn nodded. I'll start with hospitals, employment, arrests. Given she hasn't returned in 5 days, one of those is likely. Alex flinched but nodded. Keep me updated hourly. While Evelyn searched, Alex faced Mia. I am not equipped to look after a child, he muttered. I don't need much looking after, Mia said, overhearing. Mom calls me her little grown-up. That statement pained Alex. An 8-year-old shouldn't have to be grown up. His phone rang. Rebecca. Mr. Sterling, the Westlake investors are threatening to pull out if you don't attend today's meeting. The deal was worth millions. Fine, I'll be there in an hour. He turned to Mia. I need to go to work for a bit. Mrs. Davies will stay. I'll come back, he promised, and we'll have dinner. The Westlake meeting dragged. Alex's mind wandered to Mia. When his partner, Marcus Thorne, made a snide comment about Alex's sudden interest in charity cases, Alex felt a surge of protective anger. That charity case has more dignity than most adults I know, he snapped, stunning the boardroom. By late afternoon, deal signed, Alex headed home, 2 hours earlier than usual. He impulsively stopped at a department store, emerging with children's clothes and a stuffed elephant. He found Mia at the kitchen table with papers. Homework, she explained. Mrs. Davies called my school. Alex felt a rush of gratitude for his housekeeper. That night, Mia's nightmare shattered their tentative peace. She's not coming back, Mia sobbed as Alex awkwardly sat on her bed. Something bad happened to her? He smoothed her hair. We're going to find her. I have the best person looking. As Mia's tears subsided, she leaned against his shoulder. The trusting gesture undid him. Alexander Sterling, the heartless magnate, held a trembling child until she slept, wondering how his life had changed so dramatically. His cell vibrated as he poured morning coffee. Evelyn Hayes. I found her, she said. Where? Alex asked, stepping away from the kitchen where Mia breakfasted with Mrs. Davies. That's where it gets complicated, Alex. I need to see you, in person, alone. An hour later, Alex sat opposite Evelyn in his downtown office, a file between them. Sarah Miller, Evelyn began, is actually Sarah Louise Carmichael. She changed her name about 8 years ago. Alex froze. Carmichael. The name hit him like a physical blow. Sarah Carmichael, a ghost from a past he'd ruthlessly erased. You know her, Evelyn observed. We dated in college, Alex said quietly. Memories flooded back. Sarah's laugh, their youthful plans. Over 20 years ago. Evelyn nodded. Look at the timeline. With trembling hands, Alex flipped through the pages. Mia's birth certificate, 8 years old. Mother, Sarah Louise Carmichael. Name changed shortly after. The timing of their breakup, 21 years ago, when Alex chose ambition over her. Are you saying? He couldn't finish. DNA would confirm it, Evelyn said gently. But the timing strongly suggests Mia Carmichael could be your daughter. Alex stood abruptly, turning to the window. His empire stretched before him, suddenly meaningless. Where is she now? He asked, voice barely audible. Sarah. City General Hospital, Evelyn replied. Brought in unconscious 5 days ago. Accident at a construction site on the East End. No ID, admitted as Jane Doe. She paused. Working undocumented cleaning for a subcontractor at the Meridian Gateway project. Meridian Gateway. One of his company's projects. Yes, Evelyn confirmed. Shelving unit collapsed. Head trauma, internal injuries. Unconscious since admission. Prognosis guarded. Alex gripped the windowsill. The timing matched. Sarah hadn't abandoned Mia. She'd been lying in a hospital, unidentified, while Mia waited. And the site belonged to him. Does Mia know? Number I came straight to you. Alex nodded. I need to see Sarah. Alone. First. At City General, Alex followed a nurse. Inside, motionless, was Sarah. Thinner, lined with struggle, but unmistakably her. "She murmurs Mia, playground," the nurse said, "but hasn't regained full consciousness." Alex approached, overwhelmed. "Sarah," he whispered, taking her limp hand. "It's Alex." No response. "I found Mia. She's safe. Waiting for you." Still nothing. He sank into the chair. "I'm so sorry," he whispered, "for everything." The weight of 20 years crashed down. He had chosen ambition over love, and while he built his empire, Sarah had raised their daughter. Alone. Their daughter. The reality struck him anew. As Alex left the hospital, a single question consumed him. What would he tell Mia? He sat in his car, hands trembling. He called Mrs. Davies. "How is Mia?" "Fine, Mr. Sterling. We're baking cookies. She's a special child." Alex swallowed hard. "I'll be home soon." Before driving home, he stormed into Meridian Construction, past the startled receptionist, into the site manager Peterson's office. "A woman was injured at your East Side project 5 days ago," Alex said, voice dangerously calm. "Sarah Miller." Peterson paled. "Sir, accidents happen. She was working without proper documentation." "In a building violating safety codes," Alex continued. "A building with my name on it." "We outsource cleaning," Peterson stammered. "I am responsible," Alex cut him off, "for all of it." He demanded reports. Another detail emerged. "She applied for a position at our corporate headquarters?" "Multiple times, sir," Peterson confirmed nervously. "HR rejected her. No college degree, spotty work history." Alex felt ill. While he built his fortune, Sarah had tried to reach him, only to be turned away by his own bureaucracy. The drive home was a blur. He found Mia and Mrs. Davies in the kitchen. Mia's face lit up. Sarah's eyes looked back at him. How had he not seen it? "Mrs. Davies, thank you. I'll take it from here." Alone with Mia, he sat her down. "I found your mom." Mia's eyes widened. "Where is she? Can we go see her?" "She's in the hospital," Alex explained carefully. "She had an accident at work. That's why she didn't come back." Tears welled. "Is she going to be okay?" "The doctors are taking good care of her. She hit her head and has been sleeping. We can visit tomorrow." "She didn't leave me on purpose?" Mia asked. "No," Alex said firmly. "She would never leave you on purpose. She loves you very much." Mia nodded. "What about the other thing?" she asked. "The thing that made you look so sad?" Alex stared at this child, his child. "Just adult worries, Mia. Nothing for you to be concerned about." That night, after Mia slept, Alex locked himself in his office. For the first time in decades, Alexander Sterling, the ruthless magnate, wept. He mourned the life he could have had, the years lost forever with Sarah and the daughter he never knew. The cold, hard shell around his heart finally shattered, and the pain was immense. But through it, a sliver of something else, a desperate, fragile hope for redemption. The hospital corridor seemed endless as Alex led Mia toward Sarah's room the next morning. "She might not wake up right away," Alex reminded her, "but doctors say she can probably hear us." Mia nodded. "I'll tell her all about Max and your big house." Inside, Mia hesitated briefly, then approached the bed, carefully taking her mother's hand. "Hi, Mom, it's me, Mia. I waited at the park, and then Alex found me." Alex stepped back as Mia talked to Sarah, a mixture of childlike enthusiasm and startling maturity. After walking to the car, Mia asked, "Will Mom be mad I'm staying with you?" Alex chose his words. "Numbers, she'll be grateful you're safe. Your mom and we knew each other a long time ago." "You did? Were you friends?" "Yes," Alex said, the inadequacy of the word hanging in the air. That afternoon, while Mia napped, Alex met Dr. Ramirez, City General's chief of neurology. "I want the best care for Sarah Carmichael," he stated, correcting the name, and slid a substantial check across the desk. "Private room, specialists, whatever she needs." The doctor eyed the check. "Of course, Mr. Sterling. May I ask your relationship to the patient?" Alex hesitated. "She's family," he said, the truth settling into his bones. Later that evening, Alex drove back to his empty office. On his desk sat Evelyn's file, Sarah's work history, minimum wage jobs, eviction notices, medical bills. Every page told of a woman struggling while he amassed wealth. The foreman had admitted safety protocols were ignored to cut costs, deadlines Alex had imposed. He examined his wealth and found it hollow. As rain pattered against the windows, Alex made a silent vow. Whatever happened, he would make it right. "Why don't you have any pictures on your walls?" Mia asked one evening a week later. They were in Alex's home office, Mia drawing, Alex ostensibly working. "I never thought about it," he answered honestly. "Mom keeps all my school pictures. She says memories are more important than things." The simple wisdom struck Alex. His mansion was full of expensive things, but no memories. "Your mother is right," he said quietly. Daily hospital visits continued. Sarah's condition remained unchanged, but doctors noted increased brain activity when Mia spoke. "I made you a new picture, Mom," Mia would say, placing a drawing on the bedside table. "It's Max, and me and Alex at the park. When you wake up, you can come live with us. Alex's house is really big." Alex, who had said no such thing, found he didn't mind. The thought of them leaving filled him with quiet dread. "Alex?" Mia asked as they walked through the parking garage one evening. "Did you ever love someone?" The question caught him off guard. "You live all alone. Don't you get lonely?" "I was focused on my business," he said. "I didn't make time for that." "Mom says everybody needs somebody," Mia stated. That night, drawn to Mia's backpack, Alex found Sarah's journal entries among Mia's drawings. Saw Alexander Sterling on the business page today. His company acquired another building. I wonder if he ever thinks about what might have been. If he knew about Mia, would it matter? Sometimes I see him in her. The determined set of her jaw, how her mind works with numbers. I never told her about him. He made his choice. Alex closed the diary, hands trembling. He felt profound sadness and understanding. The man he had been wouldn't have welcomed a child. What kind of man would he be now? 2 weeks passed. Alex's life was unrecognizable. Mornings began with Mia's chatter, evenings ended with hospital visits. He rearranged his schedule, leaving the office by 4 p.m. Dr. Ramirez approached Alex. "We're seeing encouraging signs with Ms. Carmichael. Increased responsiveness, especially to your voice and Mia's. I'd like to bring in a specialist from Boston, Doctor. Eleanor Vance, pioneering new TBI treatments." "Do it," Alex said, "whatever it costs." "There was a notable spike when you were reading poetry to Ms. Carmichael," Dr. Ramirez added. "Shared memories might help." Alone with Sarah, Alex took her hand. "The doctors think you can hear me. I hope so. There's so much I need to say." He paused. "I know about Mia, that I'm her father." His voice broke. "She's extraordinary, Sarah. You've done an amazing job." He told her everything, his regrets, his shame, his growing love for their daughter. "I don't expect forgiveness," he concluded, "but I'll take care of both of you, if you'll let me." As he stood, he felt the slightest pressure. Sarah's hand twitched. "Sarah!" Her eyelids fluttered. He pressed the call button frantically. For 3 days, Alex barely left the hospital. Dr. Vance arrived. Mia, sensing change, was excited and anxious. "Will Mom remember me?" she asked. "Of course," Alex assured, though doctors warned of memory issues. The breakthrough came on a Tuesday. Alex was reading Sarah's journal aloud. "We couldn't afford the tooth fairy, but I left a note saying her smile was so beautiful. The tooth fairy left it as a gift for me instead. She believed it completely." "Alex?" The whisper was faint. He looked up. Sarah's eyes were open, confused but conscious. "Sarah!" "You're awake." Her gaze darted. "Mia," she rasped. "She's safe. Here, just down the hall." He pressed the call button. "I found her in the park." Confusion, then realization. "The accident? How long?" "Almost 3 weeks." Tears filled her eyes. "Mia was alone for 3 weeks?" "No," Alex said firmly. "She's been with me. I've been taking care of her." Sarah's eyes widened as full recognition set in. Just then, the medical team rushed in. Alex texted Mrs. Davies, "Bring Mia." Now Sarah's awake. 20 minutes later, Mia burst in. "Mom," she whispered. "Mia." Sarah's voice trembled, arms opening. Mia flew into her mother's embrace. Alex watched, eyes wet, as they sobbed together. Later, Mia asleep beside her, Sarah's eyes met Alex's. "How did you find her?" "Pure chance. Walking Max in the park." Pain crossed Sarah's features. "I told her to wait. I never meant to leave her." "I know. It wasn't your fault." Sarah studied him. "You know, don't you?" "About Mia." Alex nodded. "Evelyn Hayes found you. Uncovered your name change. The timing." He hesitated. "Why didn't you tell me, Sarah?" Her gaze dropped. Would it have mattered? The Alex I knew. Priorities were clear. Her words stung. "I was wrong," he said simply. "About everything." A complexity of emotions crossed Sarah's face. A nurse entered, ending their conversation. The doctors insisted on keeping Sarah for observation. A cautious routine developed. Alex brought Mia after school. Then he and Sarah talked, navigating 20 years of absence. "You've been taking care of Mia," Sarah said one day. Alex nodded. "She's amazing. You've done an incredible job." "Alone," Sarah added, "on minimum wage." "I didn't know." "Would it have mattered?" Sarah asked, genuinely curious. The Alex I knew was laser-focused on his empire. "I was different then," Alex admitted. "Ambitious, selfish. Why did you change your name?" Sarah sighed. "After you left, I found out I was pregnant. Tried to contact you. Your assistant said you were too busy. Return my letters." Alex closed his eyes, remembering his instructions. "Screen all personal contacts." "When I realized you wouldn't respond," Sarah continued, "I had to make decisions. My parents had just died. No family support. Pregnant with the child of a man who'd made it clear I wasn't part of his future." "So you changed your name?" The weight of her isolation settled on him. Sarah nodded. "Fresh start, moved upstate, had Mia, worked whatever jobs I could. It was hard, but we managed." "Until recently," Alex said gently. Tears filled Sarah's eyes. "The economy, housing costs, lost our apartment. Working 3 jobs, still falling behind. I never wanted Mia to know how bad things were." "She never doubted you," Alex assured. A nurse interrupted. When alone, Alex gathered courage. "Did you ever plan to tell me about Mia?" Sarah was quiet. "I considered it. As she got older, she asked about her father. I told her he was a brilliant man with important work. Not that you abandoned us." "You didn't know about her," Sarah said simply. "I couldn't tell her father chose success over love. But I couldn't lie and say you died. As she got older, I thought she deserved to know you. I applied for jobs at your company, thinking if I could just get in the door." "You were trying to reach me," Alex realized, remembering the applications. Sarah nodded. "But when I couldn't get past HR, I took it as a sign. Maybe it was better for Mia not to know a father who might reject her." The painful honesty hung between them. I wouldn't have rejected her, Alex said quietly. Not her. The man you are now, perhaps not, Sarah acknowledged. But the man you were then, Alex couldn't answer with certainty. I want to be in her life now, he said. In both your lives, if you'll let me. Before Sarah could respond, Mia bounded back. Look, it's all of us at Alex's house when you get better. Emily studied the crayon figures, Mia between two adults holding hands. When can we tell her? Alex asked quietly later. Sarah watched Mia sleep. Soon, when I'm out of here, together. Leaving the hospital, Alex realized something had shifted. Not forgiveness, but perhaps understanding. Mr. Sterling, a situation requires your attention, Rebecca's voice over the intercom. I'm busy. Sir, it's the front page of the Business Journal. Headline, Real Estate Mogul Discovers Long-Lost Daughter. Photo of him and Mia leaving the hospital. How did they get this? Alex demanded. Someone at the hospital, maybe. Quotes sources close to the family. Alex grabbed his coat. Cancel everything. He was too late. Sarah sat up in bed, newspaper in her lap. I was going to tell you, Alex began. It's fine, Sarah said quietly. Knew this would happen. You're too high profile. Where's Mia? With the child life specialist. We need to tell her today, Alex, before she hears it from someone else. That afternoon, Mia sat between them. Sweetheart, Sarah began. Remember asking about your father? Mia nodded. The truth is, Sarah continued, Alex and I knew each other a long time ago. More than friends, Alex explained softly. We cared about each other very much. Understanding dawned. Are you my dad? Mia asked, looking at Alex. He nodded, emotion tightening his throat. Yes, Mia, I am. But you didn't know about me until now? That's right, Sarah confirmed. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. Mia processed this. That's why Max liked me right away, she concluded. He knew we were family. Alex laughed softly. I knew there was something, Mia said. You both get the same wrinkle right here when you're thinking. She touched between her eyebrows. Sarah squeezed Alex's hand. Alex issued a statement confirming his daughter, requesting privacy. He announced the Harper Carmichael Foundation for Single Parents. At Sarah's discharge, photographers crowded. Alex arranged a private exit to his mansion. Sarah settled into a guest suite. The first days were awkward. This place is like a museum, Sarah remarked. Perfect, but not personal. Never bothered me before, Alex said. Because you weren't living here, Sarah observed. Just staying. The next day, Alex found Mia's artwork on the fridge, a photo of the three of them on the mantel. Small changes, transforming the sterile mansion into a home. When Alex's critical mother arrived unannounced, Alex stood firm. This is my family, Mother. I've missed 9 years of Mia's life. I won't miss any more. Alex, we can't stay here forever. Sarah stood in his home office 6 weeks after her discharge. They'd fallen into a tentative routine. I need my independence. To work, support myself and Mia. You don't have to, Alex said. The trust fund I set up. That's what I'm talking about, Sarah interrupted. I can't just hand over that responsibility. Is your pride worth disrupting Mia's life again? Alex stood frustrated. She's settled here. Don't use our daughter as leverage. This is about teaching Mia self-reliance. And what about family? Parents who make it work, Alex countered. What exactly are we, Sarah? The question hung unanswered. They'd focused on Mia, avoiding their own relationship. I found an apartment, Sarah continued, in Oak Ridge. Affordable. Oak Ridge? That area is not up to your standards? Far from your doctor's, Alex replied evenly. I need to stand on my own feet. Before Alex could respond, Mia burst in. That evening, helping Mia with homework, Alex was distracted. Dad, Mia's voice pulled him back. Are you and Mom fighting? A disagreement, Alex admitted. About us moving out? Mia stated. I heard you. Mom doesn't like feeling she owes you. And what do you think? Alex asked. Mia considered. I like it here, but Mom's been sad even though she tries to hide it. Later, Alex found Sarah on the terrace. Mia knows we're arguing. Sarah nodded. She would. I've been thinking, Alex offered. I understand. I don't like it, but I understand. He paused. What about the guest house? Separate but close. For Mia's sake. Sarah considered. And us, Alex? We've barely talked about what happened. I thought we had. I was ambitious, selfish. But we haven't talked about how it felt, Sarah said. Do you know what it did to me when you left? Tell me, he said softly. Their conversation lasted into the night, painful truths emerging. Tears from both were cleansing. As dawn approached, no firm resolution, but something shifted. The decision was made by Mia. At dinner, she presented a family contract. Emily and she would move to the guest house, trial basis, defined roles. Neither parent could refuse. She's going to be a formidable negotiator, Alex remarked. Wonder where she gets that. Emily smiled genuinely. Snow dusted the city on December 1st. Alex stood at his office window, mind on Mia's holiday concert. Text from Sarah. Mia forgot her costume. Pick it up? He smiled. 6 weeks in the guest house, they'd found a rhythm. Separate spaces, shared meals. Of course, he texted. Anything else? Sarah replied with a grocery list. Only if you have time. Emily, slowly comfortable asking for help. Alex left work early. At the school auditorium, he found Sarah saving seats. You made it. Wouldn't miss it. They shared a smile. When Mia's class took the stage, Alex felt a lump in his throat. Mia, angel wings slightly crooked, performed. Sarah reached for his hand, squeezing. She's incredible, Alex whispered. She is, Sarah agreed. After, Mia's teacher invited them to the class party. Mia mentioned you might help with decorations, Mr. Sterling. I'd be happy to, Alex confirmed. I have something to show you both, he said later, driving them to the east side, to a new construction project. Floodlights illuminated a partially completed complex. My newest project. It's big, Mia said. What is it? A community development, Alex said, watching Sarah. Mixed income housing, daycare, job training. Sarah turned, surprised. This isn't your usual luxury condo. Number something new. He hesitated. The community center will be named after Mia. Really? Mia bounced. A portion, Alex corrected, smiling. This is why you've been working late Thursdays, Sarah said with new understanding. Meeting with community organizations. And I've set up scholarships for employees' children, prioritizing maintenance and construction staff. Since finding Mia, Alex re-examined his business. Ruthless efficiency seemed hollow. He'd implemented living wages, exceeded safety standards, invested in affordable housing. Why didn't you tell me? Sarah asked softly. Wanted to show you. Actions matter. On the drive home, Mia slept. At a stoplight, Sarah touched Alex's arm. Thank you. For changing. For not just throwing money at problems, but thinking about solutions. As they approached the driveway, she added, Would you like to come over for coffee after we put Mia to bed? Just to talk. I'd like that very much, he replied. Later, in the guest house, coffee mugs cradled, snow falling, they discussed Christmas, tentative hope filling the air. 1 year later, the park bench where Alex found Mia had new slats, a plaque, where lost souls find their way home. Alex walked with Duke, now grayer, while Mia ran ahead. Sarah walked beside him, hand in his. Hard to believe it's been a year, Sarah said. Alex nodded. Sometimes like yesterday, other times like you've both always been here. They sat, watching Mia. The guest house arrangement evolved. Sarah and Mia spent more nights in the main house, until the separation was a formality. Whitaker Development was known for community focus and ethical practices. Emily ran the Harper Carmichael Foundation. "Do you ever wonder what if I hadn't been walking Max that night?" Alex asked. Sarah considered. "I like to think we would have found our way eventually. We needed to become different people." Alex reached into his pocket, feeling a small velvet box. "Emily," he began, "when I found Mia, I thought I was rescuing her. I didn't realize I was the one being saved." He opened the box, revealing a simple diamond ring. "I'm not asking because of Mia or because it's proper. I'm asking because this year showed me what I was missing. Real connection, love, family. Will you marry me? Not for convenience, but because I love you, the girl I knew, and the strong woman you've become." Tears filled Sarah's eyes. "Are you sure? Your life was so orderly before. Orderly and empty. I don't want order without you both." "Yes," Sarah whispered. "Yes, I'll marry you." As Alex slipped the ring on her finger, Mia ran back. "Did you ask her? Did she say yes?" Alex laughed. "You knew, Dad." Mia rolled her eyes. "You asked for permission last week. Plus, you're not sneaky." Walking home through falling snow, Alex reflected. The man he was, isolated in wealth, was gone. True wealth wasn't property or bank balances. It was here, Mia's mitten-covered hand in his right, his fiancée's grasp in his left. James Whitaker finally found what success never provided: belonging, purpose, unshakable joy. The park around them was now a revitalized community space, playground and shelter built by Whitaker Development. Where once was a lonely bench, now light, laughter, and new beginnings for many, the circle complete. What a journey for Alexander, Mia, and Sarah. Did their story resonate with you? What part moved you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions you have in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story of redemption and the power of family, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification bell. We have many more heartwarming tales to share, and you won't want to miss them.